Well, we are putting the spotlight on live on LinkedIn, streaming live on LinkedIn. This is a spotlight session about LinkedIn live streaming. And I have with me Linnea Johnston, who is our global LinkedIn authority. Hello, Linnea.
Kia ora, Sigrid. Glad to be here.
So good to have you here and give us these insights on using, managing, and working within LinkedIn for our business benefit and what to do, what not to do. And as I just introduced, we want to put the spotlight on lives. Now, what have you got to share excitingly that we can all jump in and do some lives on LinkedIn? Is it that straightforward and easy?
Oh, I wish that was the case, Sigrid, but unfortunately, it's not as you might imagine. A lot of things with LinkedIn are more confusing than you would like to hope. But live streaming has become much more important in the last 6 months. So that's in the first part of 2025. Part of that has been because LinkedIn has made a huge move towards making video accessible on LinkedIn. Not very many years ago, we couldn't even do videos. Now we can do video posts, and more recently, LinkedIn has been very assiduous in making new features available and being very specific about the kind of video that it wants to see. So these are video posts, and mainly these are in portrait mode. They're quite short, but they are posts rather than anything else. A second change that LinkedIn has made, and this occurred in December of 2024, was that it decided to close down its audio event platform. The reason, it wasn't making any money out of it. It was a platform that was within LinkedIn itself, and it allowed us all to do audio events that had no video, of course, but also no replays either. So, in order to pull the whole thing together, LinkedIn dovetailed its audio stream process or service into its existing live stream. So, LinkedIn Lives have been with us for several years, and this, by putting audio into those, made it all consistent. It made it very, well, I'd like to say simple, but that's not quite true. It certainly made it more consistent with what it had been previously offering. And so audio events as a standalone feature have now gone, a standalone event. And now we simply have live streaming as both audio and video. So what I mean by that is if you don't want to do a video event and you just want to do an audio event in the way that we used to, then people can show up and not have their cameras on. Very simple, very easy. Well, maybe. But if you want to really make good use of live streaming, having people come on the stage with their cameras on is an excellent idea because it seems to foster a sense of community and gives people a chance to get to know you. They can see you on the screen, and there's that all that trust building factor going on, I think, when it comes to showing up on camera, as we are showing up on camera here today. And so live streaming has taken on a whole new life in 2025 as people start to see the advantages of it. Now, some of those are that you can not only have people on the stage with you, so that's guests and panelists, and the way we used to be able to do with lives and still can, but also we can add presentations, we can play videos, we can put up images, we can do a lot more than we were ever able to do before. One of the major criticisms of the old audio event system was that there was no replay. Well, our live streams now have replays, and anytime you set up and hold an event on LinkedIn, then there is always a replay sitting on your LinkedIn profile or company page, depending on where you have hosted it. But what is also now the case is that we have a comment thread. Again, that was a criticism levied against the audio events, was that there was no way of anybody being able to connect with anybody else within the event itself. It all had to be done externally. Now, just like live streams or with comments on a post, we can have a comment stream within the event itself. And I think that's another way to foster community spirit. People can get to know each other and they can network together. And so, consequently, all of these changes have really made a big difference to how people are perceiving events. And there are a lot more events now showing up on LinkedIn, which I think is a very good thing indeed.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, events is something people are drawn to, whatever the event is, isn't it?
That's absolutely true. And I think the reason people like them is because they are happening in real time. Live streaming seems to have become one of those event formats that people really like or they don't. Some people prefer to watch them as a replay. I personally prefer to do that. But other people like to join in because they feel that like they want to be part of that sense of belonging. And I think that that's one of the things that live streams really do very, very well. By allowing people to communicate with each other and to react to what's going on the screen, I think that there is that real opportunity to build that familiarity, build that know, like, and trust factor, which is so essential on LinkedIn. When I said at the beginning that it wasn't exactly simple, I'd just like to explain that because I think it's important that people know this. It's not a matter of just going to LinkedIn, clicking a button, and beginning a live stream. It doesn't work like that, Sigrid, as you know. There has to be a third party in between. So, common third parties are StreamYard, Restream, and Zoom, of course, among others. And so that is where, on those platforms, is where our events are actually hosted and actually run, and then connected to LinkedIn and broadcast on LinkedIn.
Mm.
So, in the main, what that requires is, depending on at what level you are doing your live streams, that you might need a paid account. So, StreamYard, Restream, and Zoom all have free accounts, and you can put your live stream directly onto LinkedIn through those free accounts. For those who are doing it on a more professional basis or a more regular basis and want to have their own branding as part of their event, then having a paid account with any of those organizations is a good way to do it. But of course, that then means we have to pay more money in order to be able to do this. But it's a worthwhile if you are doing it regularly and if you have another reason to be using the platform. So, as an example, StreamYard allows us to record meetings or to record events that don't go out live. We can record them in the studio. That allows a lot of repurposing, a lot of being able to record videos for other purposes that we might not want to actually go out there as a broadcast. Consequently, it's not just using those apps for one thing, it's using them over a multitude of uses. So, for example, with Zoom, we use Zoom to hold meetings, we use Zoom to do live events. We have more than one use for a platform, which starts to make it more cost effective. So, there are some downsides to doing live streaming on LinkedIn, but I do believe that overall they have huge benefits. And another one that I've not mentioned is the fact that every time you produce a piece of content on LinkedIn through a live stream, then that allows you to repurpose it for other uses. So, as an example of that, I use each live stream I do in 5 different ways. I create an image post, a carousel, which is a document post, an infographic. I turn it into a blog post for my website, and I can sometimes, if it's a good length of event, turn it into an article for long form content on LinkedIn. So when you consider the different ways you can use a live stream, all of a sudden it becomes a very cost effective way to produce content. Plus, you're building a community and giving people an opportunity to get to see you speaking and to build that know, like, and trust factor. So good. It's probably fair to say that I'm a fan of LinkedIn live streaming.
Certainly sounds like it. Linnea, I tell you, the one aspect I really love about the LinkedIn Lives is that as soon as you start, even before you start, LinkedIn actually pops a notice into the feed that can be seen by others so that if they do are available live to come and watch it, they know there and then you don't have to do that yourself. I think that's an excellent feature that LinkedIn offers.
I absolutely agree. And if someone's looking at their notifications or on LinkedIn while a live is on, they'll also see a notification there that so and so is live as well. So LinkedIn is really pulling their weight on the promotional side of live streams, which I think is a really good move.
Absolutely. Now, you talked about the various platforms that need to connect to make the live stream actually happening. Now, those paid ones, even if you're using the free fee component of that, of those ones, are really easy to connect as far as I know and what I have experienced. It's just a click of one button. I particularly personally use Zoom to make that connection. And that means you've got all these little things that you have to manually connect with each other. And that can get a lot of people lost on the path. I personally find it easy enough once you know what you are doing. But overall speaking, sometimes that whole connecting, whether you're doing it with Zoom on all these manual levels or whether you're using a paid platform, I think you've had that experience. Things can also not work. What do you do then?
Expect the unexpected with live events. So good. Yes, what you're referring to was a live stream I had recently that was hosted by StreamYard, on which I had a guest from the UK who kept dropping out of the studio altogether. We'd be chatting away and he would disappear from my screen altogether and out of the studio. It was a little disconcerting, I have to say. So yes, things can go wrong, and StreamYard put their hand up for that, and it was a bug. So I think in terms of being a host on live streams, it's a very good idea to always have a plan B. If something can go wrong, it often will. And in the several years that we've been doing live events, just about everything has gone wrong that could go wrong. But you know, the last one that we did, that was something new altogether. So you never should be surprised at how things go. But we're all used to tech not working as it should do, and as long as you keep the show going, as they say, or you decide to cancel it, as long as people know what's going on, then
Yeah.
I think that people understand. So just don't be surprised when things just don't go the way you want.
Keep calm and carry on. I think it's the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely something that we need to learn. Thank you. That was excellent for explaining and sharing the details, insights, and putting the spotlight on LinkedIn Lives. It is a powerful feature. It is something available whether you have a paid or a non-paid LinkedIn account, and it really can showcase, highlight who you are and others who you invite to be speakers as well or part of a panel, for example, which is something you do a lot. Thank you, Linnea.
A
Excellent.
pleasure. Thank you.